Hello, Internet. My name is Roro, and welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about science versus religion, trusting science versus having faith in a religion, how they're similar, how they're different. I think they're a lot more similar than people might think or might realize. So, I just wanted to get into that in this video. So, yeah, let's get into it. Now, obviously, the core beliefs of these two things can be very different, but I want to talk about this from the perspective of a person who believes in science only and how they perceive the world, and someone who mostly or fully believes in religion and how they perceive the world. It's the perception of these two types of people, not the actual beliefs themselves. All right, so let's start with science. A term that you hear a lot is trust the science. This can apply to a lot of different things. And basically, what that is implying is that you, as a person who believes in science, you are trusting the research that is being done to prove certain things that exist in the world, and that aids in your perception of reality, if that makes sense. That's kind of a mouthful. So, we're going to get into it, and I don't really care that much about specific definitions for words because words are kind of a relative thing a lot of the times. But for the sake of this video, we're going to look at the actual definitions of these words. So first, let's start with trust. And this is from dictionary.com. Firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Now, I think an important part here is most people are not scientists, and most scientists are only studying a very specific field. So, unless you've actually done the scientific work yourself, you are trusting that the scientists are doing the work correctly. And obviously, science is not a defined, definite thing. It changes all the time, and people are aware of that. But the stuff that comes out at the time is not always accurate. Not even at the fault of the scientist necessarily, but you're believing stuff that you have no way of actually verifying yourself if it's real. I think a really good example of this is something that I read about recently. It's particularly egregious, and I think it's perfectly depicts what I'm trying to say here. There was a study done in 2006 regarding a certain type of medication regarding Alzheimer's, and come to find out, in 2022 that study was potentially just complete bullshit. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, and of course, I don't know enough about it to really explain what this means. I'll link the article in the description. Again, you can make your own decision. It's literally science.org, so I don't know what to say. And if you Google Alzheimer's false information 2022 or something like that, a bunch of articles will come up. So you can pick your source if you want. But that's a perfect example of what I was saying, where this is all bullshit, potentially. And we've been basing our, when I say we, I mean like doctors and scientists have been basing their perception of Alzheimer's off of something that's potentially completely not real. So you're trusting the science, but then something like this happens. You know what I'm saying? And I also just want to say, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind or anything like that. These are just thoughts that I'm having that I'm curious about. I don't even know if what I believe is real or not. And that's kind of the point of me making this video. I was raised Catholic. I'm definitely not practicing any religion right now, but I do believe in some sort of greater source. I don't know exactly what it is, but I also think that's kind of what people think science is, like the creator is something that you hear a lot in certain religions or certain cultures. Isn't that what the Big Bang is? Isn't that what the first cell or first fucking nucleus or whatever is? Isn't that the same shit? I don't know. All right. I think next we need to look at the word belief, because that's a word that's used a lot with religion, but it's also used with science, believing science, stuff like that. So let's look at the word belief or believe. Belief, an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Trust, faith, ooh, interesting, or confidence, not coincidence, in something or someone. All right, let's check believe too, just for the sake of it. Accept as true, feel sure of the truth of. Hold something as an opinion. Interesting. Think or suppose. Now, these definitions are kind of vague, right? Like, you can kind of interpret that in a lot of different ways. And it seems like it's leaning more towards just kind of knowing or hoping, really, that something is real. Or, like it says, having trust or faith in something. It's not actually knowing. So I think people that say they believe science, by textbook definition, I would say that's something that I can kind of get behind. All right, now let's look at faith. A complete trust or confidence in something or someone. And also specifically says God for the separate definition. So believing somebody is kind of hoping that it's real. Faith is you fully believe that it's real. This is getting all twisted up in my head, but again, the words are not the be all end all of this. It's more so just to kind of try to get to the root of it and then just open the question and just have the thought be in your head. That's at least why I'm doing it. This just came to my head, and like everything else on this channel, I just record it and document it so I can reference it later. So what is the point of all this? I'm not trying to pit people against each other. I'm not trying to say anybody's right or wrong. I think we are all equally wrong. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. And I think that people need to just accept that certain types of people and thoughts of living their life and beliefs exist. There's so much like denying the reality of certain thought processes, but I think in general, people need to accept that the opposite way that you think, you don't have to accept that thought itself, but you have to accept that people think different things in the opposite extreme. And I think that's a good starting place because, like I said, we are all equally wrong. Nobody knows anything. Nobody can truly know anything. And I believe that. So whatever believe means, that's what I believe. Anyway, all right. Getting into kind of the weeds now, but I think I kind of said everything I wanted to say. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I post a new video every Sunday, so you can come back next week for a new one. I have a bunch of other videos on my channel with similar topics, similar formats to the videos. I stream on Twitch. You can check me out there, whenever I feel like streaming. I have a Discord server that's starting to build up. I'm really going to start doing more stuff there in 2023, so you can check that out. And I make a little bit of music for every video for the end, so I'm going to play that now, and I'll see you guys next time.